Zhang Linghe stepped off a plane that had been delayed more than 5 hours, walked onto set before sunrise, and the first thing he said was not about the show he had just finished shooting for 3 consecutive years. It was a question about attendance. Is everyone here yet? That is the detail almost nobody outside the production crew would have known, if members of the crew hadn't chosen to share it. And it matters more than it looks, because it sits right next to a number that could have dominated every headline about him this week: 0. Across 3 seasons of Let's Start Deducing, Zhang Linghe has never once been voted the killer. Not a single time. Fans have already crowned him the undefeated king of deduction. It is the kind of statistic built for a highlight reel. He didn't lead with it. On August 20th, 2026, Zhang Linghe posted a long farewell note marking the end of Let's Start Deducing Season 4. He talked about 3 years of filming. He talked about the final case, set inside something the show calls the escape memory space. And then he did something that turns an ordinary wrap-up post into a genuinely interesting piece of self-presentation. He borrowed the show's own fictional device and used it to describe something real. The Twitter account itself, he wrote, is also a kind of memory space, in a different sense, holding on to 3 years of good memories. That's the anchor. Not the streak. The metaphor he chose instead of the streak. It's worth sitting with why that choice is unusual. A 3-year, undefeated run inside a deduction show is exactly the kind of number a management team would normally want front and center in any farewell messaging, because it's simple, quotable, and easy for outlets to turn into a headline on its own. Zhang Linghe's post buried it entirely. He didn't mention the record once. He mentioned people, and a familiar set, and a phrase he pulled directly out of the fiction he had just spent weeks filming. At almost the same moment, on the other side of the industry, actress Tian Xiwei was building her own version of the same idea. On August 21st, 2026, RIO officially announced her as brand ambassador for its Slightly Tipsy cocktail line, releasing a TVC built around a phrase that sounds almost like a rebuttal to typical alcohol marketing: sweetly tipsy, and let yourself be a little bit tipsy. The short film is styled like a diary. It moves through 4 different tipsy states, each one paired with a small, specific line, like no need to rush into being drunk, or the one that's already circulating among fans, about listening to half of what your mother says and drinking only half of the glass. Here is where the 2 stories start talking to each other. Rio's stated core message is direct about what it is not selling. It is not selling how much someone can drink. It's not selling the atmosphere of a party. The brand describes the product as being about finding the most comfortable state a person can occupy somewhere between sober and drunk. That's a strange thing for a beverage campaign to lead with. Most alcohol marketing sells excess, or aesthetic, or a version of a wild night. RIO built its concept around restraint instead, and handed the concept to an actress whose public persona already reads as relaxed and unfiltered. So look at what actually happened across roughly 24 hours in 2 completely different corners of the entertainment world. One actor closing out a 3-year hosting run chose to write about memory and continuity instead of his own undefeated record. One actress opening a new brand partnership was handed a concept built around imperfection and moderation instead of glamour or excess. Neither of these is a coincidence you can build an industry lore out of. But it is worth noticing that both moments are marketing decisions, made by different teams, in the same week, that quietly point away from achievement and toward something closer to ordinary, relatable restraint. That doesn't mean the achievement side of either story disappeared. It's still there, doing its job in the background. Zhang Linghe's 0-loss record across 3 seasons is still, by any measure, a genuinely rare outcome in a deduction format built specifically to catch people out. Cast members have described watching him solve cases with the kind of speed that turns into internet clips, right alongside the moments that go viral for the opposite reason, like a hula hoop routine that had nothing to do with solving anything. Tian Xiwei's commercial history this year hasn't exactly been quiet either. RIO is her 3rd notable brand deal in a short stretch, following partnerships with Lux and Shanghai Auntie, and industry watchers have already started describing the pattern as a kind of compounding effect, where each new deal adds visibility to the last one rather than starting from 0. There's a second layer to Zhang Linghe's farewell post worth pulling apart, because it doesn't stay contained to the show he was leaving. In the same stretch of filming, his fan base was already rallying around two upcoming drama projects, Kui Luan and Kwa Nyu Thu Hai. That timing means the farewell post wasn't really a closing statement. It was a handoff. The goodwill built over 3 years of a variety format doesn't just evaporate once the format ends, it gets carried, more or less intact, into whatever comes next. Framing that transition around memory rather than achievement is, in a narrow sense, a low-risk way to keep an audience emotionally attached across a format change, without ever having to say that's what's happening. Rio's side of the story has its own version of that carryover effect, and it shows up in something more measurable than sentiment: merchandise. The brand's official store started selling Tian Xiwei branded items alongside the announcement, everything from postcards and badges to lenticular cards and acrylic stands, and fan buying activity on launch day was fast enough that multiple items reportedly sold out. That's not proof of anything industry-wide about how alcohol brands should market to younger audiences. It is, in this specific case, a fairly direct signal that the restraint over excess concept didn't cost the campaign any commercial urgency. Comfort and moderation, as a pitch, still moved product quickly. But visibility and warmth are not the same currency, and that's the actual story here. A 3-year hosting run gives a performer plenty of achievement to advertise. Zhang Linghe had the numbers. He had the format's built-in bragging right. Instead, the post he chose to write focused on the crew, on returning to familiar faces, on the comfort of a space he's occupied since 2024. According to people on set, he had also quietly prepared small mechanical cat and dog models as parting gifts for his fellow cast members, on top of making it to set at all after a 5-hour delay. None of that shows up in a stat line. All of it shows up in how people describe working with him. Tian Xiwei's campaign runs on a similar logic, just translated into advertising language instead of a farewell post. A cocktail brand had every reason to build a launch around glamour, or a big group scene, or the kind of TVC that sells a lifestyle rather than a mood. Instead, it built a diary format around a single person sitting with 4 different versions of a very ordinary evening. Fans reacted to the finished product by comparing it to a music video, which is a specific kind of compliment. It suggests the ad worked less like a commercial and more like content someone would choose to re-watch. Neither of these examples proves that the entertainment industry has universally pivoted from selling achievement to selling relatability. One case does not make a rule, and there's an obvious selection bias in only looking at 2 stories from the same week. What the evidence does support is narrower and still worth sitting with: 2 separate teams, working with 2 different artists, in 2 different formats, arrived at the same instinct almost simultaneously. Lead with the human-sized detail. Save the impressive number for later, if you mention it at all. That instinct is why Zhang Linghe's farewell post reads less like a press release and more like a letter, and why Rio's product briefing reads less like a pitch for how much you can drink and more like an argument for finding your own comfortable middle ground. The memory space metaphor and the half-a-glass metaphor are doing the exact same job from 2 different directions. They are both telling the audience, this isn't about the record. It's about the version of yourself you're comfortable being when nobody's counting. Which brings the story back to the question Zhang Linghe actually asked when he landed. Not did we make it, but is everyone here? After 3 years and 0 losses, that's still the detail his own team chose to remember out loud. And for an audience trained to expect the highlight reel first, that quieter choice, made twice in 1 week by 2 different corners of the industry, might be the more interesting trend to watch. If you like entertainment stories that go beyond the headline, the kind that look for the quiet signals most coverage misses, Rabbit News Hallyu was built for exactly that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates.